We will begin the first session. Dr. Hiroshi Amano will deliver the first lecture in the 14th HOPE meeting. This HOPE meeting has 7 Japanese researchers who are acting as moderators. They are assigned to moderate each lecture and group discussion sessions. Dr. Hajime Akiyama from the University of Tsukuba will act as a moderator of this session. Please welcome Dr. Akiyama.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Welcome to the first lecture of the 14th HOPE meeting with Nobel Laureate. The speaker for the first lecture is Professor Hiroshi Amano. Professor Amano is a Nobel Laureate in Physics 2014 for the invention of efficient blue light emitting diodes, which has enabled bright and energy-saving white light sources. He will give us a lecture titled Mission and Role of Universities in the 21st Century. Professor Amano will give us a lecture for 45 minutes and 15-minute Q&A session follows. Please be active in the Q&A session so that you can learn much from Professor Amano. I know Professor Amano, and Professor Amano is really nice. So I am pretty sure that he will welcome any question. So don't hesitate to ask any question to him. Note that if there are too many questions, we may not be able to have enough time for all questions. I apologize for that in advance. I will moderate this session. I am Hajime Akiyama, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, University of Tsukuba, just 20 minutes away from here by bus. I'm really happy to see you at Tsukuba. My specialization is peace studies, and I'm very far from Professor Amano's specialization, but I'm pretty sure that I will learn a lot from his lecture from humanities and social sciences perspective as well. I'm sure that this lecture will be very important for you to think about science and society, which is a topic for your presentation as well. Sorry for kept you waiting. Please join me in welcoming Professor Hiroshi Amano.
Thank you, Professor Akiyama, for the kind introduction. Good morning. I'm Hiroshi Amano, Nagano University. It is my great honor to join the 14th HOPE meeting and give a talk. So first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Sugino and the organizers of JSPS. And also, I'd like to thank all of you attending the HOPE meeting, especially Professor Akiyama for accepting my offer to be a moderator. Okay, today I'd like to talk about the role of universities in the 21st century. But before starting my talk, I'd like to thank you, the wonderful questions. Yeah, I got many wonderful questions. So in my presentation, I would like to respond one by one in my presentation. So first is from Viola. How would you describe the most important characteristic of a scientist in 3 words? Okay. So, my opinion is first, future vision, and second, enthusiasm, and third, the patience. Okay. Maybe you can accept first 2 words, future vision and enthusiasm, but why you should be patient, okay? Yeah, in my long research career, the mind often falters. But in such a bad situation, it is also important for researchers how to endure hard situations. So I'd like to explain, in my experience, how to endure the hard situations. Okay. So let me start the blue LEDs. It's an advertisement, of course. How blue LEDs change your life. The reason why you enjoy the full color smartphones, PC displays, or TVs because of the emergence of blue LEDs. And the contribution of gallium nitride-based blue LEDs for general lighting is huge. For example, in case of the United States, U.S. Department of Energy said that between 2017 to 2035, within these 18 years, the people in the United States save about 22.9 petawatt hour, which or 2.29 times 10 to the 16th watt hour, which correspond to 819 billion US dollar, which is huge. Okay. And now LED functionality has gone from blue to now emitting deep ultraviolet light. Yeah, we can use the water purification by DPV LEDs. We are facing the problem of big systems of water purification system. The demand is for a device that can ensure drinking water in a harsh environment, such as earthquake, tsunami, typhoon, or battlefield. And the demand is for lightweight, compact, low power consumption, durable, and vibration-resistant equipment. Now we can provide such a system, very compact and tough. And also, the deep UV light, small LED, can protect medical workers from infection. This is the example at Nagoya University Hospital. And the nurse have the risk of infection by the patients. But this air curtain, this is the air curtain, which can protect the infection. So we can protect nurses, doctors, and other healthcare workers from infection. Okay. So I'd like to explain how the blue LEDs were developed in the Japanese university. At that time, very, very poor Japanese university, okay? The pioneer is the late Professor Isamu Kasaki, my supervisor when I was a student. He had a strong commitment to his original light-emitting diode LED. Yeah, the reason is he moved from Nagoya University to Matsushita, now Panasonic. It's a private company in Japan. He started the research and the development of red and green LEDs. Okay. The business was so successful, so he got an award from the president of Matsushita. However, he had to follow American and European researchers' patents to commercialize red and green LEDs. That's why he was seeking his originality. That was blue LEDs. Okay. So he succeeded to fabricate MIS. MIS stands for metal insulator semiconductor. no PN junction LEDs. It's an old type LEDs. So it was so-called RCA type. RCA is a private company in United States. So in this case also, he had to use RCA patent. So Professor Akasaki wanted to continue the research and development of his original LEDs. However, unfortunately, the manager of Matsushita decided to stop the project. So he had to move to Nagoya University, okay, in 1981. At that time, almost all the industry people worldwide abandoned gallium nitride LED. It was too difficult. So therefore, he said, I went along in the wilderness. And I joined as the undergraduate student to his laboratory at Nagoya University in 1982. My dream when I was an undergraduate student was to develop my personal computer system, especially CPU, for gaming. Professor Fujimaki said so. Yeah, I was also interested in the game. So the reason is, in 1975, the Bill Gates and Paul Allen established Microsoft, and in 1976, Steve Jobs and Stephen Wozniak developed Apple. So during my summer vacation of my freshman year of undergraduate, I earned money by working part-time on the night shift at an engine manufacturing facility, that is Suzuki Motors, and bought an Fujitsu FM8. Yeah, then I'm trying to program the game embedded over the golf game at that time. But unfortunately, at that time, there was no laboratory who featured conducting the CPU or microcomputer system. But when I found the graduation research subject, gallium nitride-based blue LEDs, I was so excited. So I suddenly decided to join the Akasaki laboratory. At that time, the displays were like this. Brown tube was used, which was very, very big and energy consuming. So if I can invent blue LED, I will change the world. So the question from Knight, why did you choose gallium nitride as the material for researching blue LED preparation? The reason is I had a vision of flat panel displays. Okay. What is LEDs? You can see in the Christmas, the small blue light in the Christmas trees. It's an LED lamp, and in the LED lamp, you can find the LED chip. It is very, very small. To realize the efficient blue LEDs, we need high quality gallium nitride crystals, and especially the P-type, hole conducting materials. So we started to realize high quality gallium nitride crystals by developing our own crystal growth equipment that is called MOCVD, Metal Organic Chemical Vapor Deposition Systems. Okay. I have tried 3 years, fourth year of undergraduate bachelor's, first year of master's course, and second year of master's course. I have tried almost every day, 364 days per year. But I could not grow high quality crystals. Always, my crystals was very, very poor. But in such a desperate situation, I enjoyed to repeat the experiments I did the experiments from my first year to third year of undergraduate, but which were not fun, not interesting at all, because they were made by research assistants and I knew the results. So it's not exciting to me at all. But this time, we made our own MOCVD reactor and were able to think about the experiments on my own. That is very, very important for me. I have never had such an enjoyable and exciting experiment. So I could continue the experiment 3 years without any achievement. And I faced the turning point of my life, entering the doctoral course. Okay. In August 1984, Professor Akasaki recommended me to enter doctoral course. Although I could not succeed in growing high-quality gallium nitride crystals for almost 3 years, I enjoyed the crystal growth experiment so much. Therefore, I decided to enter doctoral course at the end of August. However, in September, trouble happened in my family. Therefore, I lost the financial support from them. But I was very lucky that I was able to obtain a scholarship from the Japan Scholarship Foundation by the support of Nagano University. So I could enter the doctoral course. That's why I made a decision. I could make a decision that I would try my life differently than everyone else. At that time, the person who entered the doctoral course was very, very minor. So the question from Mariko, are there any turning points in your life so far? I chose this life, a life where I can pursue what I want to do, rather than a life spent comparing myself to others. Okay. And at the end of master's course, just February, I got the hint from Associate Professor Nobuhiko Sawaki. He told me the story of boron phosphide on silicon, which was a good hint for me. And then I used low temperature buffer layer technique. Finally, I succeeded to grow world's highest quality gallium nitride at that time. Yeah, I wrote the patent, and also I wrote journal papers and submitted to Applied Physics Letters, one of the famous journals in applied physics. And then it was soon, very soon, accepted for publications. I was extremely happy to write a journal paper, although my paper did not take any notice of other researchers, because at that time, the many other researchers are interested in other materials. That was zinc selenide. Anyway, I could enter the doctoral course, and I became refreshed and tried to focus on overcome the second barrier, that was P-type gallium nitride. And I had a question from Tom. In the past, why was it so challenging to fabricate P-type gallium nitride that served as a basis for LEDs? Okay. When I attended the international conference, the famous researchers said like this: if we put the acceptor impurity to get P-type conduction or hole conduction, which have the negative charge. So if we put impurities into gallium nitride, native defect having the positive charge is automatically generated. The donor level of native defects, such as nitrogen vacancy, is automatically generated, by which acceptor impurity is compensated, then we could not get the p-type. It's called the self-compensation. So at that time, many researchers implicitly believed that p-type gallium nitride could not be realized. Okay. But my impression is the self-compensation was only a poor excuse of the non-completion of p-type. So I have confidence that we could grow the world's highest quality gallium nitride. So we could realize p-type gallium nitride at that time. For 3 years, the doctoral course, no success. Okay. So from Tabi, how to navigate my research career? My means Tabi maybe. So as to get to be a research reader, that is, get to the level of winning a Nobel Prize in physics. Yeah, this question is very difficult for me to answer correctly. But my opinion is, please try, challenge, which no one has been realized yet. Okay, that's my message. Okay. So during the 3 years of doctoral course, I had the very serious emotional stresses. One is my mentor, you should concentrate on fabricating MIS type, all type LEDs by zinc doping. At that time, we used the zinc as the acceptor dopant. But even using a new crystal growth MOCVD, MIS type blue LED grown by MOCVD had been already realized by others. So for me, nothing interesting. Okay. So I had these major stresses. I could not be motivated by old type LEDs. Anyway, I had to write journal papers, and I found some interesting phenomena. That is low energy electron beam irradiation, Rabi treatment. During my internship at NTT, through the cathode luminescence measurement, electron beam was irradiated. Then the blue luminescence was irreversibly enhanced. Although even after the enhancement, the sample shows highly resistive, not p-type. However, this phenomena is interesting, so I thought I could write a paper and I could get a PhD. However, so I submitted abstract to International Conference of Luminescence, which was held in Beijing, China. And I believe I was the first person to find this effect. However, when I tried to write a journal paper and checked the previous papers, I found this one. Soviet Union Moscow University team already found just the same phenomena as I found 4 years before my finding. So at that time, doctoral course students had to write at least 3 journal papers to get a Doctor of Engineering. At that time, not the PhD, but Doctor of Engineering. So I could not write a 3rd paper. Consequently, I could not complete my Doctor of Engineering and had to quit doctoral course with full credit. So to get the scholarship, I have to finish within 3 years. But I lost my financial support. But I was very lucky that the Professor Akasaki arranged the position of research associate in Nagoya University, so I could continue the research. And after 4 years from the start of P-type challenge, I was so excited with finding my mistake. When I wrote the textbook written by Phillips, Bonds, and Barnes in semiconductors, In case of gallium phosphide, another compound semiconductors, magnesium is better than zinc in terms of the activation. So, question from Kosuke. I think it was very difficult and took a long time to develop a blue LED. How did you keep your motivation during that difficult time? It was very, very important questions. And I'd like to say that finding a goal of being the first in the world released all my stresses at that time. Okay. Yeah. When I read this textbook, I thought I could be the first to realize p-type gallium nitride because I could have the high quality gallium nitride crystals, and also I have the Levy treatment effect. So by the combination of these two, we can realize p-type gallium nitride and p-n junction LEDs. Crystal growth at Nagoya University, and one hour by small scooter, I went to the research partner to the Gosei and took us 7 hours to treat the one sample, and then returned to Nagoya University, and then we could get a p-n junction. But although we realized p-type gallium nitride and p-n junction LED, I was disheartened by my inability to realize my first dream, that is full color flat panel displays by LEDs. Then private companies, Nichia Chemicals and the Gosei people succeeded blue LED manufacturing, which led to the social implementation of full color flat panel displays and general lightings. And more importantly, LED lighting helped people from the fear of darkness. Mr. Gantumul, Minister for Education and Science of Mongolia at that time, visited us and gave me a word of gratitude. The reason is, according to him, for Mongolian people, traditional lifestyle is the nomad life. Using the tent called gale, they have the nomadic life. However, the nomadic life is very, very tough. Incandescent lamp, life is only 1 hour per day. So some young Mongolian people abandoned the nomadic life. However, the emergence of LED lamp changed the mind of Mongolians. So we visited next year, 2016, one of the family who continued the nomad life. And when we entered the gale, it's a tent, I saw the LED lamp is really used in a tent. So I was so happy to see that. According to the Nobel Foundation, LED lamp holds great promise for increasing the quality of life for over 1.5 billion people around the world who lack access to electricity grids. Due to its low power requirement, it can be powered by cheap local solar powers. Okay. Next, I'd like to discuss with the young generation how to manage projects. Okay, these are our team members. Many specialists are joining our group. And also, we established a consortium. Now, 51 companies, 21 universities, and 2 national institutes join our consortium. And also, we have the Research Strategic Management Team by University Research Administrator, URA. Okay, according to the Ministry of Education, age of research leading a Nobel Prize is around age of 37. Okay, 37. It's only a statistic. Okay, so I can estimate time for people of each age group to be active like this. Okay, our team is concentrated on this area. So we can continue only by 2030. Okay, after that, young researchers below 30s or pre- and postdoctoral students should be active in the mid-2030. Okay, and around 2040, undergrad student would be active. And after 2040, high school, middle school, or elementary school students should be active. So, question from Mariko, how do you keep your group motivated? I can say that the staff members aged over 40 do not need to worry about their motivation. They are professionals, okay? But people in their 30s need some encouragement. So I'm trying to empower them by explaining how important their researches are for the society. Okay. Okay, I'd like to explain another activities, how to start project. We are conducting the WISE program, doctoral program for world-leading innovative and smart education. It's a School of Engineering curriculum, DII, collaborative graduate program for accelerating innovation in future electronics. The concept is, in case of Blue LEDs, from gallium nitride research to social implementation, it took 30 years, okay? Investigate at university, and product at company, and market or value creation. So it is like a series development. So if these trees can conduct in parallel like this, we can achieve innovation within 10 years. That's the concept. Okay, so deployer to create values in society, entrepreneur, innovator to create products, manufacturing manager, and investigator to create technical seeds, researchers, developing on the premise of collaborating 3 different types of students with different roles. So we got high evaluation from external mentors. We have as many as 35 mentors outside our universities. Okay, and when the students apply the pitch contest, they always get the award. So it's like no enemy wherever they go. Okay. Outreach activity is also very high. Features in many newspapers, and they presented at CITEC, which is the Japan's biggest exhibition, and then they presented their products. Okay, how to start research project? Yeah, my presentation would be limited to the engineering field, but 2 questions. Mariko, how do you plan your research strategy? Or Knight, nowadays, many young people like to chase scientific research hotspots and blindly apply for scientific research fund. How did you get rid of peer pressure and concentrate on research? This comment is very, very important, I think. So to avoid pointless competition and to make the most of your passion, I'd like to recommend, first, collaboration with different field of experts, and second, sharing the same dream or same goals. Okay. And I have another question from Kayas. Can we quantify or do research in the geothermal heat for cryospheric melt contribution? Yeah, I'm not familiar with this field, but I'm trying to respond to these questions. If the Earth is covered with ice or snow, it could not be melted by sunlight thereafter, and it would be stuck in the state of forever. The reason is the reflectivity of ice or snow is very high, by which the energy absorbed in Earth would be decreased. So we could not get out of the ice age forever. But today, people believe that less CO2 dissolved in the ocean, ice could not absorb the CO2, by which the rate of CO2 in the air increase, which causes the greenhouse effect, by which CO2 concentration in air increases, then the Earth became warming. Therefore, it may not be easy to find evidence of the contribution of geothermal heat. But I'd like to say, why not? If you believe that geothermal heat, you should try to find it. Okay? Okay, finally, I'd like to discuss how researchers live in the VUCA age. VUCA means the volatility, V, U, uncertainty, C, complexity, and A, ambiguity. I'd like to show you two examples. One is the COVID-19. How have we responded to the global COVID-19 epidemic? The cases increases, the death increases drastically. And vaccine worked very well. So I would like to thank all the research and development staff of the vaccines. But it seems to me, it's like an ad hoc response. Okay. So are there any other methods of protecting people from infection? And second example is the Russian invasion to Ukraine. These are the world map. The gray countries have maintained a neutral stance. And the orange countries that have supported the invasion or blamed the invasion on Ukraine and or NATO provocation. And sky blue countries that have condemned the invasion with arms aid and economic sanctions. Okay. Yeah, I think this is very important, but it seems to me it's like an ad hoc response. So are there any other methods of supporting Ukraine people or stop Russian aggression? So the role of universities in the 21st century, ad hoc response to unexpected issues sometimes make big business. Pfizer or something, and may give you a lot of money if you are belonging to such a business or companies. But I believe that essential solutions can be found in the different kinds of effort at universities or the institute, although it may take a long time to find them. Okay? So I believe that real benefit to mankind can be realized by the accumulation of such plenty of intellectual challenges. And as a result, time for social implementation can be shortened. So that's why collaboration in different fields and different countries at each university are so important. So I'd like to emphasize again that you should continue research that you believe you should do so. So, young people, future is yours. Do your best. Thank you so much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Amano. I learned a lot from many perspectives, including tips for life. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
And referring to his experience, Professor Amano mentioned that universities and research institutes have possibilities in finding essential solutions to solve many global issues at the end of his presentation. And listening to that, I came up with the following question. what value does our research create? When you look at not short-term scale, but long-term scale, who gets benefit as a result of our research based on what kind of value? When you look at the relationship between business, money, and research, we need to acknowledge that so-called capitalism, which is the social system, is the basis of the current society. But we witness many issues capitalism has today. How can we contribute to real benefit to mankind in the words of Professor Amano? And these questions can be related to think about essential solutions to global issues. I also think that we need to think what are issues to be solved in the first place and why they are called issues. This may be an important question to ask not only about research, but also the role of universities. When we talk about the role of universities, I believe not only research, but also education and social contribution are other important missions. There will be some points we need to have in mind when we think about the role of universities. This is my thought as a scholar of humanities and social sciences. And as I said, I'm far from Professor Amano's specialization, but he appointed me as a moderator. I really appreciate that. And I believe that this is one example of collaboration. And I believe this kind of interdisciplinary dialogue assists in pursuing our common dream. Okay, I would like to open the floor. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. Please limit the number of questions and make your questions brief. At the beginning of your question, please identify yourself, such as name and affiliation. So, anyone has a question? Okay, who says yes?
Thank you, Professor. That's a great talk, and also congratulations again for your Nobel Prize. This is Muslim from Turkey. I have a question about ALD. So, what is the feature, like the research for the LAD? Is it is it close to the theoretical efficiency, or is there any way to still improve the efficiency of the ALD by finding the new materials?
Okay, the question is the driving force for the research, or you mean the efficiency is the first priority issue for?
So I know for the ALD, we giving the energy, then we lighting up, yeah, right? So, but still, there are some like the door between the efficiency between the theoretical and the practical application. So is it close to the theoretical application for ALD? Like the ALD lighting?
Okay. Yeah, the comparison of theoretical and experimental efficiency is important. If the theoretical efficiency is high and the experimental efficiency is very low, we have the room to improve the efficiency. But okay. Yeah, in case of LEDs, the efficiency is high, so we can replace the incandescent lamp to LED lamp. But efficiency itself is not the only goal for human. Maybe we need to consider the human-centered approach. So in such a case, the efficiency is not efficiency is of course very, very important, but efficiency itself is not the only the sign for realizing or trying to develop the system. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Do you have any other questions? Oh, yes. Please. Can you keep your... Yes, please.
Thank you so much for the inspiring talk, Prof. Amano. I'm Vivian. I'm an MD PhD student from Duke NUS Medical School from Singapore. So I have two questions. The first one is that I'm actually quite amazed that the LED can be used for the sterilized curtains for blood collection. So I was just wondering, like, in countries where disposable personal protective equipment in hospitals are not really available and that they need to reuse personal protective equipment, do you think that LEDs can be a potential way to use for sterilization, like to decrease the cost of the PPEs? And my second question is that are there other applications that you're thinking of using your LEDs to? Yeah, thank you so much.
Sorry, I couldn't catch your point. First one is
So like in hospitals, we need to use a lot of like gowns, say when we have certain patient encounters, especially if
in the
like,
hospital.
Yeah, in the hospital, like personal protective equipment, like gowns or gloves, those kind of stuff. And the disposable ones are readily available in like sometimes richer countries, but in other countries, sometimes we need to reuse those equipments. Do you think that LEDs could be a way to sterilize the ones that need to be reused?
Oh. Your point is that it can be used, the deep ultraviolet LEDs can be used for sterilizing in the hospital, or?
Do you think it's a potential application?
Potential application, okay, I see, yes. Yeah, we are already providing the water purification and also air purification by deep ultraviolet LEDs, but we have the problem. We are now using the relatively long wavelength deep UV LEDs, which is 275 to 280 nanometer deep UV LEDs. So we cannot irradiate this light to direct human skins, which causes some damage to the skin. So the best way is much shorter wavelengths, 220 nanometer LEDs. If we can realize 220 LEDs, we can use even in irradiating to the skin. But solid state electronics or solid state physics said that it is not so easy. Yeah, 220 nanometer LED efficiency is very, very low at present. Now, the 270 to 280, we can realize more than 10% efficiency, but 220 is less than 1% at present. So to realize ideal system by LED for sterilizing, we need to develop more on the 220 small chips.
Thank you very much. Okay, so first.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I am Hamad Hamada, PhD student at Yohashi University of Technology. And you mentioned in your presentation that you couldn't graduate your PhD on time because you found your Russian scientist already reported the phenomena or something you were working on. So should we limit writing research papers on novel results or something that no one achieved before? because recently it is not the case. So most of researchers, including me, writing many papers even without significant contribution to the scientific community.
So your point is
should we limit writing papers only if we have novel result that no one achieved before?
So your point is, do you try to do research which no one had been achieved yet, or?
So if I did a research that no one achieved before,
Yeah.
I can go and publish paper. But if my research work is not new or I didn't develop something new, so I should not write a paper.
No. Yeah. In my case, I was so excited to try the new things which no one had been tried yet. But it's not always the case. The research itself is very, very important. Continuing or the trying which other person has been achieved is also very, very important. Yeah, this is what should I say? The science should be, or the research should be many people or all the people can share the results. So in such a case, only one success would not be sufficient. The science and engineering, all the people can share the achievement or the results. So repeating the experiment or repeating the research is also very, very important. So, but in my case, I was very young students, native students. So I was in the stress of very hard pressure of writing a journal paper. That's why I thought the motivation, the big motivation is important only for me. But for science, the repeating the experiment and repeating the research is also very, very important. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for the very important comments.
Thank you very much. I think there's someone like there raising a hand. Anyone? Okay, so the dark color. Yes. Yeah. Please. The same row.
So thank you very much, Professor Amano. A very wonderful talk. So I'm Liu Yanfei from the University of Tokyo.
Oh.
So yeah, my question is, in recent years, some researchers are using the quantum dots for developing the LED. So I want to ask you, what do you think is the new materials for the next generation of LED? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You mentioned about, for example, the perovskite or other materials, or?
Yes.
Okay, I see. Okay. Yeah. There are several approaches to realize some products. For example, even only the LED, there are many different LEDs, OLEDs or quantum dot based LEDs, and each LED has each characteristics. And this is also, it should be human-centered products. So in case of quantum dot, maybe it is very useful for low light emission. For example, the glass displays or something. Yeah, in such a case, a quantum dot is very, very, very useful. So it depends on the applications. And for perovskite, maybe it is useful because of the low cost of the sources. So, yeah, it depends on the application, I think. Yeah,
Yes.
from the engineering point of view,
Yes,
it depends on the application.
Yes, I fully agree. Thank you for your answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I know that some of you have even more questions, but I'm so sorry. This is 10:30, and it is the moderator's job to finish the session on time. So I'm so sorry to finish it off. But thank you very much for your active participation, especially Professor Amano needed to think quite a long time, which means that your questions were really good. Thank you very much. And finally, I really appreciate Professor Amano for making a really wonderful lecture and Q&A session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amano and Dr. Akiyama. Let's show our appreciation with a round of applause.